Coming up on today's video, I bought this Panasonic Quintrix portable colour television set. Hopefully I won't blow it up. Managed to find a service manual for this. That goes up to number 12 I think. Although here in England we actually only had 4 channels back then. I actually noticed a leaking capacitor on one of the boards. So then I thought, oh, I better go and check the rest of them. So it must have been lucky for quite some time. For that and more, stay tuned and I'll see you right after the intro. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Thanks for tuning in. Earlier this year in 2024 I bought this Panasonic Quintrix portable colour television set. I'm quite interested in these smaller TV sets. I paid £35 for this. I think postage was about £10.99 through eBay. It was sold to me as untested because it doesn't have a mains cable. Looking at the back of it, the mains cable is quite a strange affair on this set, because not only does it contain 240 volts, it also contains 12 volts DC. As you can see there, it's quite a peculiar looking plug, and it's obviously particular to this model television set. I've not been able to find one so far, so I've held off doing a video about this TV. But I'm very eager now to test this out and see if it works. So what I'm going to have to do is open this up and have a look inside and see where all those pins lead to. Because 2 of those will be AC and obviously 2 will be DC. I'm not sure what the other 2 will be. Could just be grounds. It does say on the top of it actually battery or mains. So one of those is probably a battery connection as well, possibly, who knows. So in this video we'll be opening this up to take a look inside, and then we'll find out where that mains is going, and we'll hopefully test it and see if it works. Hopefully I won't blow it up. I've managed to find a service manual for this online. Unfortunately it doesn't really tell me much, though I did get the part number for the actual AC cable. In fact there's 2 cables for this. One's a DC to run off a car battery, and the other one's the AC cable. Let's take a look at its connectivity and functions. You've got a handle there on the top, mechanical power button, volume control there, slider, telescopic aerial at the back there. Obviously that's no longer in use, although I do have one of those RF transmitters actually for sending analog signals. You've got a little hidden flap on the front there with your channel change buttons. That goes up to number 12 I think. Although here in England we actually only had 4 channels back then, and a nice piece of smoked plastic on the front there, acrylic. I always liked this on the 80s TVs actually. On the left there you've got a headphone socket next to the speaker, or an audio output. And on the top left you've got your audio video inputs, composite in and out and analog in and out audio. 2 switches there which I think must be for adjusting sensitivity. There again is that peculiar 6-pin plug socket, and you've got a little hole there for the focus. And there's the couple of more adjustments down the bottom for horizontal and vertical. Under that flap there next to the mains button you've got the automatic tuning. This was quite a new feature back in the day, because a lot of TV sets still had the thumb wheel adjustment there for tuning it in manually, whereas this one had the search feature. This was usually found on later equipment and obviously on the high-end stuff. I've actually managed to find this TV in a couple of my old What Video magazines, so we'll take a look at those next. This one here is from 1983. And there it is there, look, Panasonic TC-800. 8-inch, power, price $333.50. Interesting, the Sony KV6000's there, smaller screen, 6-inch, and that's £350. I've actually got that one as well. I did a video about that before. So that's 1983 April, and then it appeared again in this issue here, July 1984. And where are we? There we go. The price has come down to $275 there, just a year later. They did another model after this. I think it was the 810. I forget now. Next up then we'll have a look inside and see what we've got here. See what kind of condition it's in. Looking at the service manual, it looks quite packed inside the television set. There's quite a lot of boards in there, and it is very heavy. In fact, it weighs just over 6 kilos. One thing I forgot to mention before, you have a small foot on the bottom there that flips out, so the TV can have a slight tilt. Looking at the service manual, there's 6 screws here on the bottom to undo, And there's two more on top hidden under that flap. Then it's just a case of carefully easing off that top cover there, watching out for any cables that may be attached. And there you go, sure enough there is a speaker cable attached, and I'm pleased to say it has a plug, so no soldering needs to be done here to remove it. I do like it when they put these parts location stickers in. It can be quite helpful if you haven't got a service manual. Got a bit of a date time code there of when it was made, and I couldn't quite figure this one out. Very sensitive speaker there on the side, 16 ohms. Interesting that they've wired the 3.5mm audio output directly in line with the speaker connection, with no circuitry. Well, as you can see, just like the service manual, there's a lot going on inside this set. There's a ball on each side and one underneath, and obviously you've got the ball on the back of the tube there. With the danger high voltage warning label, and there's that socket. Just need to find out where those cables go, and then we can wire this thing up. That panel on the back there was actually loose before I opened it up. I think if I'm right there's a couple of plastic segments broken off inside the case. It's very clean inside this set. I don't think it's seen a lot of use. Not much dust at all. Normally when these things have had a lot of use, they have a lot of black dust marks, heat marks, and fine dust that's been attracted to the high voltage. Okay, let's get that back panel off there and have a look behind it and see where those cables run. So having a close look at that small PCB, the two centre pins look like they're not connected to anything. I think they're just there for stability, or to add stability to the plug. For lining it up. Common sense looking at it, the two thicker wires on the left there, the yellow and the red, are AC, and the two thinner ones on the right, the white and the blue, are the DC. But just to confirm this, I thought I'll get a meter out and check which one's the ground, just to be on the safe side. And then after I'd done that, I also checked a little bit further, opened up the side of the television set, followed that yellow and red cable, and sure enough it does lead to the power PCB at the bottom left of the TV, looking at it from the back. Okay, now that we've established which is the AC and DC input, it was time to power this thing up. So I'm going to press it on first, so I can just do it from here, just in case anything bad happens. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's see if it works and hopefully it won't go bang. There's some static then in the tube. So it's powering up. I can see a red LED on the top there, lit up. Will there be a picture though? Oh, there we go. The tube is powered up. Well, the TV inputs are working. Well, at least it didn't go bang, thank goodness. I guess I need to get a video signal into it now and see if the picture's okay. Let me go and find something. Got one of the little retro games controllers with all the games built in. I always use these for testing things. So let's switch it on and see if we get anything. Wow. What are the chances it actually works? Not hearing any sound. Oh, of course. There's no speaker plugged in, is there? Here we go. There's contacts also in here clean. Just try this quickly. Well, I think we can say that works, can't we? I'm amazed. Some scratchy pots there, just needs a bit of contact cleaner in there. Well, what I'll do, I'll put this back together now and I'll film it on the different camera because I can see that the refresh rate's not very good on this one. And then we'll put some different footage on it and test out the video quality as well of the actual camera on it itself. Excellent, brilliant. But before we do further testing, I'm going to give those pots there a good clean with some contact cleaner, because they really are crackling, especially the audio one, and the pitch and contrast colour jumping about everywhere when I adjust them. And when I was doing this, I actually noticed a leaking capacitor on one of the boards. A little bit of green fur coming out of one of them. So then I thought, oh, I better go and check the rest of them. I went as far as checking the two sideboards and the back one, and I found 3 in total that were leaking. In fact, one of them was quite bad actually. It actually made the board go black. So it must have been like it for quite some time. I didn't pull out the bottom board, I just did a visual inspection. Obviously this is not the best way to go about that, but I didn't really want to be taking this whole thing apart. And for the time being it seems to be working okay, even with these leaking capacitors. So I changed those 3 out and reassembled it, and I'm pleased to say it's still working. So next up we'll test out some gameplay now and the video quality. I think I'm going to use my trusty PlayStation 1 today for this demonstration. I must have had this for 20 years now. For this demonstration I'm going to play a little bit of Project X, because this is probably one of the only games I'm any good at.
Megabomb for destruction of objects. Ripple.
Well, there you have it, the Panasonic TC-800G from around 1983. I couldn't quite fathom out those date codes on the inside there. If anybody understands what they were, please let me know in the comments. We'll try and figure out just how old this thing is. No, I think it probably is 1983 looking at it. On that magazine obviously I looked at, I think it was 83 and 84, but it could have been out a little bit earlier than that. It's a very nice TV this. I was very fortunate, wasn't I, that it worked. Even with those 3 leaking capacitors that I found after testing it, it was still going. Quite surprising really. Going forward, that connection on the back there, I forgot to mention I use an AC figure of 8 mains cable that we have here in Europe, or in the UK, to plug it in. But obviously you could accidentally plug it into the wrong pins on the back there. So going forward I do need to obviously do something about that. Maybe make a little cover for it. And I'll probably put a label on the back as well saying AC on one side and DC on the other. I haven't actually tested the DC input. I don't see why it wouldn't work, but obviously there's a possibility that it doesn't. But for now it's working fine on AC, which is what I'm going to be using it on anyway. The gameplay footage looked quite good, didn't it? I was quite impressed with that. It's quite hard to film these CRT screens. My Canon D100 or A100 I've got there, or D100, the colour's not great on it, but the TV actually looks better in real life than it does on the screen there. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that with me. It's been quite interesting testing this out and giving it a bit of a service. I guess that just leaves me to say until the next video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you. And if you did enjoy watching this video, you may want to take a look at some of my other videos on similar themes. I'm always buying something on eBay, some more piece of technology, and trying to repair it. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching.